Everything changed in a matter of seconds. I want you to really put yourself in the situation. One moment, you're fighting for your absolute professional life. You're executing a play in the sweltering, suffocating heat of a late summer NFL training camp. The smell of freshly cut grass is thick in the air, the pads are violently popping all around you, and you are fighting tooth and nail just to secure your spot, your livelihood. And then, the next moment, a violent, chaotic collision completely alters the trajectory of your entire career. It's gone. Welcome to NFL Nexus, your dedicated home for the most gripping, cinematic deep dives into the stories that truly define the National Football League. Today, we are bringing you an exclusive explainer on a story of sheer survival, absolute grit, and the harsh, incredibly fleeting reality of an NFL career. We're looking closely at Salvon Ahmed's desperate, high-stakes fight for a spot on the Chicago Bears roster. Now, before we unpack this intense battle, make sure you support the channel. Go ahead and subscribe to NFL Nexus, like this explainer, and comment down below on what you think about Ahmed's chances this season. And listen, if you really want to help us keep producing these premium documentary-style deep dives, you can support the channel directly by becoming a channel member today. We literally couldn't do this without you. Okay, let's dive into this.
A serious and gruesome ankle injury. Those were the exact words from NFL insider Jordan Schultz regarding a truly devastating moment during a 2025 practice with the Indianapolis Colts. You see, this wasn't just your routine sprain. This wasn't the kind of tweak that keeps a player on the stationary bike for a couple of weeks. This was the catastrophic, horrifying result of a hip drop tackle. Just think about the sheer mechanical violence of that specific movement for a second. A hip drop tackle is incredibly sudden and it's brutally unforgiving. A defender wraps up the ball carrier, violently swivels their hips, and drops their entire dead weight directly onto the back of the runner's legs. The runner's cleats are trapped, they're locked into the turf. There is absolutely nowhere for all of that immense force to go but directly into the fragile ankle joint. The vulnerability is total, the crashing weight is absolute. For Ahmed, it meant an immediate, heartbreaking end to his season. He was placed on injured reserve. A full year of rigorous preparation, of lifting heavy in the dark, of obsessively studying the playbook, just vanished in a single rep. And here is the brutal, unspoken truth of professional football. For a player fighting on the extreme fringes of an NFL roster, a season-ending injury isn't just a physical hurdle to overcome, it is a profound, existential threat to their entire professional life. Out of sight literally means out of mind, and the league will move on without you in a heartbeat.
Section 3. A career on the brink. The journey to the edge of the NFL. At 27 years old, Salvon Ahmed is standing right on the razor-thin margin between living out his childhood dream and being permanently forced out of the league entirely. In the incredibly unforgiving running back ecosystem, 27 is a critical, highly dangerous age. The clock isn't just ticking, it's practically sounding an alarm. To fully understand the immense, crushing weight of this current moment, we have to look back at the incredibly turbulent journey of this 5'11", 197-pound athlete. Coming out of Kirkland, Washington, he was a standout. He was a one-year starter for the Huskies and an honorable mention All-Pac-12 selection back in 2019. But listen to me carefully. College accolades mean absolutely nothing the exact second you step into an NFL facility. Entering the league in 2020 as an undrafted free agent, Ahmed signed with the San Francisco 49ers. He was waived in August. The cold, unfeeling reality of the football business hit him immediately. Think about that feeling. You pack your bags, you turn in your playbook, and you just sit and wait by the phone, praying it rings. Fortunately, the Miami Dolphins did call, and he actually found a legitimate home there for several years, carving out a crucial role on an exclusive rights deal. But the life of a fringe player is entirely, exhaustingly nomadic. In 2023, he briefly joined the Denver Broncos practice squad, only to be let go once again. He caught on with the Indianapolis Colts in 2024, signing a futures contract, hoping for some semblance of stability, only to suffer that devastating, season-ending ankle injury in the 2025 training camp. And now, in May 2026, the Chicago Bears have claimed him. Looking at this timeline, it is not just a sterile list of transactions. It is a profound story of a man enduring immense psychological exhaustion, constantly learning entirely new playbooks, constantly moving his life to new cities, and absolutely refusing to quit on himself.
Section 4. The gruesome setback. Flashes of brilliance in Miami.
When you are an undrafted free agent, you do not get the benefit of the doubt. Ever. First-round picks? They are given endless grace periods, developmental years, second and third chances. But if an undrafted rookie drops a simple swing pass or misses a crucial blitz pickup in a preseason game, they could literally be on a commercial flight home by Tuesday morning. Every single time you touch the football, your entire livelihood is on the line. Yet when Ahmed was called upon by the Dolphins under those intensely high stakes, he delivered production that forcefully, undeniably proved he belongs in this league. 4.3. That is a massive, attention-grabbing number for an undrafted rookie running back. During that 2020 rookie season with Miami, Ahmed took 75 carries and turned them into 319 rushing yards, averaging a highly impressive 4.3 yards per carry. He didn't just move the chains between the 20s either. He found the end zone, scoring 3 hard-fought rushing touchdowns that year. That 4.3 average is the kind of explosive, highly efficient metric that absolutely demands respect from defensive coordinators. It proves that when the lights are at their absolute brightest, when a completely unblocked 250-pound middle linebacker is bearing down in the A-gap, Ahmed possesses the elite vision, the calm patience, and the sudden explosive burst to produce at the absolute highest professional level. And that rookie season was definitely not a mirage. 593 is his career rushing yard total over 38 games played, a span that also includes 4 career starts. He accrued those hard-fought yards on 163 carries, averaging a really solid 3.6 yards per carry across his entire Miami tenure, accompanied by 5 total rushing touchdowns. But as we all know, modern NFL offenses demand far more than just a downhill, one-dimensional battering ram. You absolutely have to be versatile to survive in today's passing league. The tape shows us without a doubt that Ahmed is a highly capable dual-threat weapon. He caught 40 passes out of the backfield for 274 receiving yards and a touchdown. That receiving ability is huge. It means he isn't a liability when it's 3rd and long. He can effectively run routes, he can catch the ball smoothly in stride, and he can turn a simple dump-off checkdown into a completely fresh set of downs. I need to make this clear. He is not a project. He is not a fun camp experiment. He is a verified, completely battle-tested NFL asset who has put incredibly meaningful plays on film against elite, top-tier competition.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is his elite efficiency mark of 0.271 expected points added, or EPA, per carry in 2022, according to PFSN's NFL HQ. Listen, if you truly want to understand how modern, cutting-edge NFL front offices actually build their rosters, you have to understand EPA. It is the absolute lifeblood of advanced analytics right now. It doesn't just measure empty yardage on 3rd and 20 when the defense is willingly playing soft prevent coverage. No, EPA measures the true, highly situational impact of a play on a team's actual mathematical chances of scoring points on that specific drive. An EPA of 0.271 is downright phenomenal. To put that into perspective, it means that Ahmed was actively, significantly increasing his team's expected point total almost every single time the ball was securely placed in his hands. It is the absolute ultimate measure of per-touch efficiency. When a general manager is sitting in a dark room staring at his analytics dashboard late at night, this is the exact type of hidden underlying value they are desperately searching for. It proves mathematically, beyond a shadow of a doubt, exactly why NFL teams continue to give Salvon Ahmed opportunities.
Section 5. Chicago's call to action. The phone rings in the Windy City.
Which brings us right to a pivotal turning point this past Wednesday. The phone rings, and it's the Windy City. The Chicago Bears officially offered Salvon Ahmed a spot on their 90-man roster just days ahead of OTAs. The NFL is a cold, strictly calculating business. Let's not kid ourselves. The Chicago Bears did not bring Ahmed in out of charity. They brought him in because they have a specific, incredibly urgent, and cutthroat vision for their offense, and they are rigorously scouting the fringes of the talent pool to fill out their depth chart before the truly grueling days of summer arrive. Chicago actively seeks to increase competition to fuel a top-3 rushing attack. Last season, the Bears' rushing scheme was formidable. They established a dominant, physically punishing ground game, and they are looking to aggressively build on that core identity. To maintain a top-tier rushing attack in this league, complacency is your absolute worst enemy. You need hungry, absolutely desperate players pushing the starters to their breaking point every single day in practice. The front office made a very calculated decision to move on from veteran Travis Homer in free agency, and that departure? That created a vacuum, a tiny, incredibly valuable sliver of opportunity at the very bottom of the roster. And stepping directly into that vacuum is Salvon Ahmed, brought in to bring the exact type of fiery, desperate competition the Chicago coaching staff is demanding.
Section 6. The crowded backfield. Entering the Shark Tank.
But let's be perfectly clear about this situation. Ahmed hasn't made it just by signing the contract, not by a long shot. This is merely the beginning of an intensely unforgiving competition. He is walking right into the absolute Shark Tank. The Chicago Bears running back room is a formidable, highly complex obstacle course of established veterans, rising stars, and incredibly hungry rookies. Let's break down the exact hierarchy of this brutal battleground. At the very top tier, what we're calling the top punch, you have a locked-in, completely devastating 1-2 combination. DeAndre Swift is the undisputed alpha in this room. Last season, he was an absolute force of nature, erupting for 1,087 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground while adding another 299 yards through the air. He is the franchise back, period.
Right behind him is Kalmanangai, who posted 783 yards and 5 touchdowns in a stellar campaign. Those two guys, they are untouchable. The roster spots are written in permanent ink. Then you have the terrifying territory known as the bubble. This is where the true anxiety-inducing violence of the NFL roster cutdown happens. Ahmed is staring down an absolute gauntlet. He's fiercely battling Roschon Johnson, a physically imposing back drafted highly just a few years ago. He is going to war against Britton Brown, another incredibly tough runner desperate for a permanent foothold. He is competing directly against Deion Hankins and a completely fearless undrafted rookie in Coleman Bennett, a kid who has absolutely nothing to lose. Think about this math. That is 6 men, maybe, just maybe, 2 open chairs at the very end of the summer. The math is brutal. The margin for error is essentially 0. Every single rep in pass protection, every single individual route run on a random Tuesday morning in July will be obsessively graded.
Section 7. Fighting for Survival. The Secret Weapons of Salvon Ahmed.
So when you are locked in a massive 6-way battle for a final roster spot and the sheer physical talent level is virtually identical across the entire board, how do you actually win? You win in the margins. You win by doing the grueling, highly unglamorous, dirty work that other players simply refuse to do. And Salvon Ahmed is not walking into this fight unarmed. He brings some massive, crucial hidden advantages that could secure his survival under head coach Ben Johnson. First up, 110 career special team snaps. Now, to the casual viewer, that might sound like filler, but let me tell you, if you want to be the running back 3 or running back 4 on an NFL team, you absolutely must play special teams. It is a complete non-negotiable. You have to be fully willing to sprint 40 yards downfield on kickoff coverage, throw your entire body into a 250-pound wedge block, and perfectly protect the punter on 4th down. Ahmed has a proven, highly reliable resume in this specific phase of the game, and special teams coordinators hold massive sway in those final, tense, cut-down meetings. Second, and perhaps his most incredibly powerful psychological advantage, he is reunited with Bears running backs coach Eric Studesville. Coach Studesville actually coached Ahmed directly during their time in Miami. In a league entirely built on trust and familiarity, this is everything. Studesville deeply knows Ahmed's specific work ethic. He knows exactly how he responds to severe adversity. Having a positional coach forcefully pounding the table for you in the general manager's war room can be the sole reason you make the 53-man roster. Finally, there's his proven system familiarity. Ahmed isn't starting from scratch here. He deeply understands the core offensive concepts, the incredibly dense terminology, and the complex blocking schemes. That immediate day-one familiarity allows him to play incredibly fast, giving him a massive edge over rookies who are still completely drowning in the playbook.
Section 8. The final roster push. The ultimate test awaits at training camp.
Because the hard truth is, a spot on the 90-man roster is simply an invitation to the most intensely scrutinized, physically punishing job interview on planet Earth. We now have to zoom out to the broader, incredibly high-stakes pressure of an NFL training camp. Every single day of Ahmed's life right now is lived entirely under a massive microscope. The paranoia in those meeting rooms is suffocating. Just imagine it. One poorly timed dropped pass in the flat, one missed blitz pickup in a completely meaningless fourth-quarter preseason game, and your entire career can be instantly extinguished. The physical toll of coming back from a catastrophic hip-drop tackle is monumental in itself, but the mental toll of surviving the daily gnawing dread of the roster bubble, that is almost unimaginable. Every single practice rep is quite literally a matter of professional life and death, which leaves us with the ultimate lingering question. After suffering such a devastating injury, after enduring the agonizing, deeply lonely months of rehab, and now stepping into an incredibly crowded, wildly talented depth chart, can Salvon Ahmed actually survive the brutal cut to the final 53? In a league where NFL famously stands for not for long, Salvon Ahmed is fighting with absolutely everything he has left in the tank to prove he is the exception to the rule. The suspense here is deeply real, and this gritty underdog battle is going to be incredibly spectacular to watch unfold this summer. And you know we will be tracking every single carry, every crucial block, and every sharp cut. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive explainer on NFL Nexus. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel right now, give this explainer a like if you appreciated the deep insight, and leave a comment down below with your official prediction on Ahmed's future with the Bears. And remember, you can help us continue bringing you these massive, cinematic stories by officially becoming a channel member today. We appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, keep your eyes on the gridiron.